human life and also non-human life, but life in general leaves a legacy.
They may be small or they may be large. They may be destructive or they may be creative. But in some measure, we all leave something behind us.
You have no idea sometimes that you're doing it.
In some way, they create an impact on the universe, and that is looked at by people who come after them.
Being a philosopher, I live in constant kind of communication with many people who are both living and dead. I live with these people. I talk with them daily. They're not sort of theoretical. They're in my head. I think of people whose voices are still active in my imagination.
Zorba the Greek by Katsantzakis, a book that I just happened to take out of a library. Nobody had told me about it, and many years ago, and read it, and was tremendously moved by that sort of love of life, the idea of freedom and living your life fully from a very early age. But then I would come back very personally and say my mother. I mean, my mother was a huge influence on my life, and my mother was very practical, and she didn't look back at all. She was always looking forward.
Collective legacies that are very profoundly important to me. In my personal life, legacies of my grandmother, my great aunt, my mother. You don't have to be here to give a gift of your being.
My grandfather, he kind of left me with a legacy of understanding infinite possibilities. One thing he used to say was, if you keep your mind open, you'd be amazed at how many possibilities become realities. At one level, that is really what he left me with, was an ability to understand and accept all things as possible.
Well, I know part of my own legacy because I'm a writer. I'm able to dramatize large ideas in a way that make them available to people. I always try to write in a way that what I write will be true forever, not just now.
I think I have had an influence on people. I think I've affected people. I think the nature of that effect has been to kind of demonstrate that an individual person can, with a lot of energy and effort, make a difference. I truly believe, and have learned this over time, that what we do may be important, but the way we do it is more important.
I don't think of any intentional sense of wanting to leave behind a legacy. I tend to look, how can I live my life in a way that will facilitate what is to come in all life, not just in human life. If you live with that intention, then that is your legacy.
If I can pass on in some way, what my grandfather passed on to me, that I think would be something very worthwhile.